What's up, guys? Killjoy Jake here, and instead of having friends, we all float down here. I'm taking this thing off as soon as I'm done with this bit, I promise. I am so excited to see It Chapter 2. I'm seeing it tonight. I'm filming this on Thursday. You're probably going to be seeing this Monday. But please like this video and subscribe if you're digging all of the Stephen King content that I'm putting out right now. I'm going to be doing a review for It Chapter 2 later this week. So you're going to see that. I'm very excited. Now let's get to the review. Who wants a balloon? Oh my god. I just felt every hair rip out of my head. So first thing off the bat, I just want to say that this movie has some of the best casting. And casting is really everything. Like, a rule for just movies in general is a good cast. And this movie has a fantastic cast. Standout performances from Finn Wolfhard, Bill Skarsgård, and Jack Dylan Grazer. All of them had a very hilarious moment or a very terrifying moment in this movie. We're going to be talking about that later in this video. The whole cast was fantastic, don't get me wrong, but these three stand out to me. Also, right from the get-go, we get a effing awesome scene. The Georgie scene is so disappointing in the 1990s miniseries, which, by the way, I want to point out that this technically is not a remake. This is just another adaptation from the same exact work. So I'm not going to be referring as the 1990 version as the original, but the 1990s version is just the Georgie scene is just so disappointing. We don't see the arm get ripped off. It's very explicit in the book of what happens, and it's just so sweet that we finally got to see that. I mean, it's up, don't get me wrong. I'm not like, I don't want kids to die or anything from evil clown demons. I know he's not a clown. I hear your keyboard's typing up some angry already, but I know he's a demon clown from space, and he came here millions of years ago, blah blah blah. I read the book. So I just think that's awesome. We finally got our awesome Georgie scene. It's super iconic, and it's finally done perfectly well, in my opinion. It's a little disappointing in the original miniseries. We get to see some blood, get some arm ripped off. That's a great way to start a movie. Speaking of eating dead kids, I just feel like that I talked about this in, if you watch my 1990s It movie review, please check that out after you're done watching this video. I talk about Pennywise is an entity that could really do some damage, and we never really see him do any damage.
That's a lot of damage.
We finally get to see him like kill people and eat people. It's horrifying, you know, and this is the potential that I feel like he could finally live up to. I know a lot of people are very upset about the changes. Like, some of the big ones are the fact that it takes place in the 80s, and now this new one's going to take place in present day. And also, one of the other like big changes is that instead of being like when the people get captured, they're not in cobwebs anymore. They actually are floating. That's a movie device that's not actually in the book at all. And I think I think they're good changes, honestly. The 80s relates more to people nowadays who grew up in the 80s. It's just a little more relatable, so I feel like it's more appropriate for the time. I know there's people who are going to be upset about that, who are big fans of the book. I've read the book. It's not that big of a deal, not that big of an issue, honestly. There are some scenes that get cut out though from the movie that, I mean, it's a 1,100 page like gigantic epic novel. I mean, you have to cut some stuff out. There are some cool things that get cut out from the book, and it is a little disappointing not to see them, but I am gonna save all my remarks that I have about that until I do my It Chapter 2 review, because they might do them when they're adults. They might do flashbacks to when they were kids again. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm so excited though. I'm like fuming with excitement. I can't even contain myself. That's why I'm talking so fast in this video. This movie is very unexpectedly hilarious as well, which is great. That's something I love to see in a horror movie. I don't love when the whole thing is funny and you're just laughing at it, and it's just like, okay, this is not even a horror movie at this point. But I love that we actually have like little jokes to break up the intensity. The best one by far, anyone who's seen this movie would probably agree, is when he says placebo wrong and he says gazebo. That's such a great little. It feels like a last minute change too. It feels like they were going to film that scene and they're like, oh, you're gonna get mad because you just found out the pills you've been taking are placebos. And he's like, can I say it wrong because I'm a kid, you know? Like, it makes the movie so much more real. Moments like that is what makes is what makes this takes this from a good movie to a great movie. I'm not even gonna say who's the better Pennywise, because both of them have their strengths. Both of them have very good strengths. I'm probably, most people watching this, I would say, who are like my age, who are growing up, I guess, with these new movies, probably would like Bill Skarsgård better, just because he's more terrifying. He takes the character in a different direction than Tim Curry did. But Tim Curry has great physicality and a hilarious mantra with the character that Bill Skarsgård doesn't exactly have. The one downside to Bill Skarsgård's Pennywise is he's not very physical, and you're gonna be like, well, what about the dancing scene? What about all the jerky CGI scenes? Well, that's CGI. It's not actually him moving around and doing crazy. I will say that him being wall-eyed, that I can't do it, but that's awesome. That's really, I mean, what a cool little change that he did to make that character so iconic and creepy. I mean, that scene where you see him in the Georgie scene is just so much creepier because he really does look like more of a monster this way. Yeah, but like I was saying, I mean, the jerky CGI, that you need to chill on that, guys. I mean, I really hope there's less of it in this new movie. I haven't seen a lot of it in the trailer, which I'm happy. I mean, there's like 1 or 2 scenes I've seen, but it's not jerky, you know, coming at you like every time he kills somebody. It's so repetitive and it gets old. And the scene where he comes out of the fridge and he's like untangling himself, it just looks so digital and it sucks. Overall, I'm gonna give it, or now that's going to be called It Chapter 1 because this new movie is It Chapter 2, I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. I want to give it a 9 out of 10, but there's just too many scenes with the jerky CGI that I'm just not a fan of, because it's not very scary because it doesn't look real. The projection scene, the coming out of the fridge scene, and the blood flying out of his head when he gets stabbed in the face, it just doesn't look real to me. It just looks kind of digital and kind of fake. So those scenes kind of really bring this movie down to a B, middle of the road B to me. If, honest to God, if it was more physical Pennywise getting in people's faces, drooling all over them, Bill Skarsgård performance is absolutely fantastic. Don't get me wrong. It's just the CGI moments just ruin it to me, in my opinion. So hopefully we get to see Bill be a little more physical in this new movie. I'm very excited. I'm going to see it tonight. It's going to be sweet. I'm so excited. I really do love this movie. It's just those few moments ruin it for me. Thank you for watching my review of It Chapter 1. Please like this video and subscribe for more horror content. It's Stephen King month, so anything can happen these next couple weeks. I might review Silver Bullet. I just watched that for the first time the other day, and actually I really liked it, so you're gonna get a pretty interesting review about that. And don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.